Have you always wanted to create one of these amazing cushions with this lovely effect? Well, now you can. I'm Gemma from Concrete Gems Crochet, and I'm here to show you how to make this gorgeous geometric cushion. It's called the Global Pathways cushion, and it's a brand new pattern by Concrete Gems, and I'm so pleased to share it with you. Now, I'm not going to make the whole cushion with you because that would literally take hours and hours and hours, but I will do a little sample for you, and I'll show you exactly how to do it so that you can then go and find the pattern and make one yourself. So today I am using two different coloured yarns. As you can see, this one is a multicoloured yarn, and then there's a plain yarn that runs through it to create the pattern. Now the plain yarn is Hobbii Everyday Acrylic. Now they've actually changed their name. They're now called Daily Stitch, but it's exactly the same yarn. So you can find that in Hobbii if you want to use that yarn. So it's 100% acrylic, and it's a category 3 weight. It's got 350 meters or 382 yards per 100 grams. And I'm coming down. My multicolored yarn is called Manarola. It's by World of Yarn. It's also from Hobbii. It's 100% premium acrylic as well, also a category 3 weight yarn, and as you can see, it's 100 grams and 240 meters or 262 yards, and it's this gorgeous color here. So it's really lovely. It's called, I believe it's called Autumn or something. It's color number 3. Anyway, so you'll also need a 4mm hook. I've got this lovely one from Furls that I'm using today, a 4mm or a G hook, and then you're going to need scissors, needle, possibly stitch markers if you use them, and a cushion insert for your cushion. So you'll want to get a 14 by 16 cushion if you want to make the exact same one. There are some customization options which you'll find in the pattern. All the details for the pattern are below in the description, and you will find various ways that you can view the pattern there. Okay, so this tutorial is going to use US crochet terms, but it only uses single crochet and double crochet. So if you're using UK terms, a single crochet is a UK double crochet, and a mosaic double crochet in US terms is a mosaic treble crochet. Apart from that, you should be completely fine following this tutorial. So as I said, this pattern uses mosaic crochet. Now it's a form of mosaic crochet called overlay mosaic crochet, which uses single crochets in the back loops and mosaic double crochets, which are these longer stitches that you can see going over in. And so they go into the front loop of the row or round 2 below, so 2 rounds below the one that you're currently working on. It's really easy once you get into it. It looks super complicated, but you only use one colour per round, and as we are working in rounds, we won't have any ends to sew in apart from one at each end. So it's really easy. So I think that's it. Let's have a look at the chart. So in the written pattern there is a chart as well as a the written instructions. So we're going to be working from I'm going to be working from the chart today to show you how it works. This is just a close-up of some of the rows of the chart, and I'm just going to be working a few. So I'm going to be working the 18 stitches on the front, and as you can see, actually I'll show you the back. The back's just plain, so we'll work the back as well. So I'll do a mini version with 18 stitches on the front and 18 stitches on the back, which is 36 stitches in total. Whereas for the full cushion, you'll want to start with a foundation single crochet of 108. If you're not sure about foundation single crochet, oh yes, then you can add one stitch to it. So 36, so the 108 foundation single crochet. Instead of that, do 109 chains and then single crochet into the second chain from the hook and each chain across. Let's get started then, shall we? I'm starting with my multicolored yarn, this one, which is yarn A, and then your solid color is yarn B. So we're going to start with a foundation single crochet of 36. So I'm starting with a slip knot on my hook, and then we are going to chain 2. Okay, we're going to insert our hook into the first chain, so the second chain from the hook, the very first one, yarn over and pull through a loop. Okay, then we're going to yarn over and pull through 1, and that's effectively like our first chain. Okay, and then we yarn over and pull through 2, and this is creating the foundation single crochet creates both the chain, the foundation chain, and the first row of single crochet at the same time, so it's really handy. So to do the second stitch, you're going to insert into that chain that we just made, so into here. So we need to go through both loops, which I seem to have lost the other loop. There we go. Both loops of the chain, yarn over and pull through. Then we yarn over and we pull through 1 to create our next chain, and then we yarn over and pull through 2, which creates the single crochet. Okay, and then we're going to just carry on doing that. So I'll show you a few more because it's a bit fiddly. So we're going into there, into that bit that looks a bit like a chain. You can use stitch markers to mark it if you're not sure. So then we chain 1, so that's our chain here. I can hold on to it and then we'll see. Then we yarn over and pull through 2 for our single crochet. See, I'm still holding on to that. So we yarn, we don't yarn over, we insert into that chain for the next stitch, into the 2 loops of the chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 1 for the chain, yarn over and pull through 2. So make sure you keep this nice and loose, okay, otherwise it's going to pull when you do your next stitches. Now I didn't talk about gauge. That was in the initial slides of this video, and it's also in the pattern. So do make sure you do a gauge swatch to check that you match the gauge before you get started. Otherwise you might find that your cushion doesn't fit inside, well, the cushion insert doesn't fit inside your cushion cover. So we're just going to carry on doing our foundation single crochet. If you're doing a full cushion rather than this little sample or a swatch, then you want to be doing 108 of these, okay? And I will see you when we have finished them. Okay, I've finished my foundation single crochet chain, my foundation single crochet now. So it was 36 stitches long, as I said before, and I'm going to just join it now into a ring, okay? So we want to make it into a circle. So I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch and pull it through, making sure it's not twisted. Okay, it kind of looks twisted there, but I think we're good. Okay, so next we're going to join in our new next colour of yarn, our yarn B. But we're going to leave our yarn A dangling down so that we can pick it up when we get to the next round. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're just going to place the yarn over the hook like this and pull it through. And then we're going to pull tight on the yarn A, which will tighten that loop up like that. Okay, and then we're ready to start crocheting our next round. Now remember, I'm working from this sheet and I'm starting with round 8. So if you're making the actual cushion, you won't be doing exactly the same as me, but I'm just going to show you exactly how it works. Okay, so the first stitch has got an X in it. Now the X means that it's a mosaic double crochet. Now because I'm starting kind of halfway round, it's slightly different because I'm going to just be working into the bottom of my foundation single crochet here, but that won't happen for you if you're starting at row 1. Okay, but this is just for an example, and I'll show you exactly how to do a mosaic double crochet in a second. Okay, so I've just done my first one there. Okay, so I've done that first mosaic double crochet, and then the next 2 stitches don't have an X in, so that means that they're single crochets in the back loops. So if you can see here, that first stitch skipped basically is in front of that stitch there, so we need to skip that one and work our single crochet into the back loop only of the next stitch. Now if you haven't done mosaic double crochet before, I have got a tutorial on it which is very handy, so I will link that in the description below, and I'll put a little card up here for you. So I've done 2 single crochets through those back loops. We're next going to do a mosaic double crochet. So we yarn over, we insert our hook into the front loop of the stitch, and it will become way more obvious when we get past this first row of the stitch 2 rows below, 2 rounds below. Yarn and then you yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochets in the back loops, so that's nice and easy. Making sure we miss 1 stitch because we did 1 mosaic double crochet. So we're just going to work those 8 single crochets. Okay, so that's 8 single crochets in the back loops. The next stitch is a mosaic double crochet. So you're going into the front loop of the stitch 2 rounds below, and you will you'll see those really obviously when you get going properly. And I'm doing 2 more single crochets in the back loops, 1 more mosaic double crochet in the front loops, and then 2 more single crochets through those back loops, and that is my first 18 stitches. Okay, and that, if you imagine that big on a cushion, that is how it will look folded in half. So then we get to the second lot of stitches. So when you're doing the big cushion, you've got 54 stitches on the front and 54 stitches on the back. So the back in the yarn B, which is this colour that I'm working now, that will always be single crochets in the back loops all the way across. And then yarn A rows, when you're working yarn A, you will always be working mosaic double crochets all the way across. So that is what creates the plain back. And that's how we're going to work now. So I'm just doing single crochets all the way around till I get back to the beginning. Okay, so I've done single crochets all the way back around, and now we are going to join into our first stitch, which is this mosaic double crochet in the back loop only with a slip stitch. Okay, and that will join it off, and then we're going to drop this yarn and pick up our yarn A, which is there waiting for us, and we're going to just pull that through like that with a chain 1, and then pull the other yarn B loop tight to hide it. Okay, and then we move on to well, I'm going to be now working on round 9, which you can see here. We start with a single crochet through the back loops. Okay, and then we do another. And then we do a mosaic double crochet in the front loop 2 rounds below. So that's going to be into the top bit of this foundation single crochet here. And you can already see that the pattern is starting to show through. We've got 2 more single crochets through the back loops. So you can see that on the pattern here, these 2. And this is as simple as mosaic double crochet gets. So you're literally just following, and you can see now these front loops here, which is where we need to work into, okay, for our mosaic double crochets. How many have we got? 6. Okay, so you literally insert into that front loop, yarn over and pull through, then you yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and that is really as simple as it is. As I said, there are written instructions in the actual pattern, which is available to view on my blog. So the blog doesn't come with the chart, because that was too hard to put onto a blog post. So the blog only has the written instructions, but the full pattern has all of the instructions. And I would recommend getting both because it's easier to follow from both of them. Okay, so that is 6 mosaic double crochets, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets into those back loops. And you can see now that you work the colour, so yarn A will always, if it's a mosaic double crochet, that stitch will always go into the row 2 rows below, which is the same colour. So we're going into that one. I know that didn't work for the very first stitch, but that was because I was skipping ahead. It does work in the pattern. And I think that's it really. We're just going to keep going. And I'll show you another join, and I'll show you as it progresses. But I'm not sure that you need very much more. I know I can't really do a full tutorial for this because it's definitely going to be too long doing each and every stitch. But if you get the technique correct, then you can just follow along from the written pattern, and it's literally either mosaic double crochet or I've gone wrong there, haven't I? Have I gone wrong? I was talking too much and not concentrating. So I need to do 2 mosaic double crochets for that last stitch. And then we go on to mosaic double crochets all the way along the back actually. So it's continuously mosaic double crochets for the back in yarn A. And I'll just talk you through the rest of the cushion pattern now. So yes, as I was saying, if you can't read crochet charts or written instructions, then it really is as simple as, if you see MDC written, that's a mosaic double crochet, and you just do the number that it says. And if you see SC in BLO written, that's single crochet in the back loops only, and it will say how many to do for that, and then you just follow the pattern across like that. And the same for the chart. If there's an X, it's a mosaic double crochet. If there is a no X, it's a single crochet in the back loops, and the colours alternate. So we're on yarn A, which is odd numbered rounds, and yarn B is even number rounds. And as I said, on the back it's just plain, so it's just single crochet in the back loops for yarn B, and mosaic double crochet for yarn A. Once you've completed your cushion, you'll end up with like a tube, And before you fasten off, you'll want to slip stitch across the ends of one of them. So you basically fold the two bits together like this, and then you're going to slip stitch across through the back loops all the way across there, and that will close up one end. Then you'll put your cushion inset inside your cushion cover, and then you're going to sew up the other end. So you can sew it up with just like a whip stitch or a mattress seam, however you prefer to seam things basically. And then you'll have your cushion. You have a few ends to weave in, and it will all be done and lovely. So I hope this is enough of a tutorial. I hope it's helped you out on how to do the mosaic double crochet and how to join at the end of the round and all things like that. I can show you again that join in a sec if you like, before we finish off. As I said, all of the details are in the description below. You'll find that there are details for the blog post, the yarn that I used, and all of those lovely things. So that's the end of that round there. So we just slip stitch into the back loop of that very first stitch to join that up, and then we switch over to our yarn bee again. Try not to get them tangled. Definitely makes it easier if they're not tangled up. And then we'll carry on. So I'd be on to my round 10 now with a single crochet into that first stitch. Just be careful you don't miss the first stitch there, because that's the one that we slip stitched into, okay? So just watch out that you haven't missed that out. And remember to pull that yarn A tight to close that gap. And then I'm going to do a mosaic double crochet into the next stitch. And I'm just going to carry on like that, following my chart or my written instructions, whichever you prefer to use or whichever you've got available for you, and carry on going around and finishing off my cushion. And I hope you're going to join in and make one as well. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again soon for another tutorial. I'm Gemma from Concrete Gems Crochet. Give me a follow and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.